15课男女平等的对话1是从我们课本124页 The first sentence 舅舅 all the way to the half, almost half of the page. In the middle, 舅舅 says 北京队对上海队so this is 对话 the first dialogue 对话1。好，林雪梅先问说，舅舅，今天怎么您洗碗呀？怎么 means how come 林雪梅 is surprised. How come you wash dishes? 哈哈，因为我洗碗比你舅妈洗得干净啊。Because I wash cleaner than your aunt. 我来洗吧I will help to wash the dishes. 我洗碗也是洗得很干净的。So 是的 is new grammar in lesson 15. So we have learned 是的 when used to discuss the particulars, for example, time, place, or manner of an action that has already taken place. For example, 你去云南啦？你是什么时候去的？我是上个星期去的。你是怎么去的？我是坐飞机去的。So this is the first function of 是的。The second function of 是的 is to emphasize, and we use this to persuade someone, reassure or sway someone. So here, 我洗碗也是洗得很干净的。Here, 林雪梅 emphasize she wash dishes clean to convince her 舅舅 her uncle that she can do a good job too. There are some more examples 别担心 don't worry. 医生说你父亲的身体健康情况是很不错的。The doctor says that your father's health is quite good. You can say 很不错 without say 是的 but by using 是的 is to emphasize. It means it's quite good. So to convince the listener, don't worry. Okay, next. 我相信住在校内是很安全的。I believe it is very safe to live on campus. You can simply say 很安全 without using 是的 but by adding 是的 it is to emphasize it is very safe. So don't worry. Next, 只知道减肥，不注意饮食与健康，也不锻炼，对你是没有好处的。So if focusing only on losing weight while ignoring diet and sleep and not exercising won't do you any good. You can simply say 对你没有好处 but by emphasizing 是的 is to emphasize this is not beneficial to you at all. So to persuade you to pay attention to the diet and sleep and to do exercise. So here we can see that 是的 in between, it can use adjective, but they usually use together with 很是很不错的 because they want to emphasize, they want to convince. So we must use 是很不错的，是很安全的 or adjective phrases. 是没有好处 means not beneficial. So there should something to modify 好处是没有好处的 is not beneficial. Okay, now we will see some more examples that 是的used together with verb. For example, 我们是很重视学生的健康的。We do take students' health very seriously. So here, 重视 is the verb. 重视 Next, 他是会丢三落四的。He does get scatterbrained. So here, we use 丢三落四. It is a verb. Next, 小张这个人是不会忘这忘那的。 Little John isn't someone who is careless and forgetful. So here we use 望这望那 is a verb. Next, 你的电脑是找得到的Your computer will be found. So 找 is the verb. However, from these examples, we can see that they don't simply use a verb. They use something with verbs. For example, 很 with the mental verbs. 很重视 or modal verb 会 with the verb 丢三落四 or modal verb 不会 with the verb 望这望那 or verb 找 with the potential complement 找得到So generally verbs alone cannot be inserted into the construction 是的They need something Okay Next, we move on. And 舅妈 replied, 别 No, don't do this. 你们从云南旅游回来就忙着找工作面试You came back from Yunnan traveling. As soon as you came back and you busy looking for jobs and interview. 还没休息过来呢休息 means rest. 休息过来 as a compliment.To express a resultative meaning, a return to a normal, active state. Means you go travel, it is tired, but you have not taken a very full, good rest to recover 100% back to your normal, active state. 还没休息过来呢 There's more examples about 过来你昨天太累了现在休息过来了吗You were so tired yesterday. Have you rested up and recovered? 他病得很厉害 He was seriously ill. 医生费了好大力气才把他救过来救 means to save. The doctor barely managed to save him from the brink of death. 救过来过来 means almost from the death.Back to life. 好 Next 他不清楚这件事他错在哪里 It was unclear to him where he made the mistakes on this. 老师给他讲了很长时间 The teacher gave him a very long explanation. 他才明白过来 Only then did it become clear to him. Means from he was not clear to back to the normal active state, which means he understand. There are more examples. 他晕倒了 he dizzy and fell down. 过了几分钟 after a couple of minutes 才醒过来醒 means awake means from dizzy the state back to awake and 过来老师说你们要把错题都改过来 So actually the teacher talked to students You all need to correct 改 means correct the mistakes the questions that you made it wrong back to the active state means back to the 都改对 back to the right state So you can either say 把错题都改过来 You can either say 把错题都改对好 here Another slight here. 还呢 in between we can use verb, for example, 休息过来 or some adjective. 还呢 the speaker points out the fact and tries to convince someone of. For example, here the speaker point out that 雪梅has not fully recovered and fully have a good rest yet. So to convince 雪梅 that you don't have to wash dishes. There's more examples. 我不要回家还早呢 I don't want to go home. They're still so early. To convince the listener that I don't want to go home. It's still early. 好，雨还很大呢 The rain is still heavy. 我们不要出去了 We don't go out. 你喝吧You can keep drinking. 还有很多可乐呢There's still many 可乐 cola 呢 to convince you. Okay, you can keep drinking. 他还没回来呢He has not come back yet. Sorry, there's a typo here. 我的工作not this 的 我的工作还有很多呢。My work, there's still more. But not here is to point out the fact and tries to convince someone. Okay, next. let's 用吗 keep saying 再说啊。In addition, 你舅舅呀昨天晚上看球看到夜里1点，今天还不得好好表现表现。So here it is a rhetorical question, means he has to perform well because he watched the game all the way till 1 a.m. 好，表现 it can be a verb, means to show, to display, to manifest, or it can be a noun, performance, manifestation. Okay, some examples for verbs. For example, 我们最近有演讲比赛speech contest. 你们演讲比赛都表现得很好。You all performed well during the speech contest. Next, 只有每天练球，比赛时才能好好表现。Only with daily practice can we perform well in competitions. Next, 这部电影表现了农民的善良和勤劳。So this movie shows or displays farmers' kindness and industriousness or hardworking 勤劳。好，表现 when function as a verb it can also use together with 出 or 出来。表现出 or 表现出来 means to express outwardly. For example, 看见我的游戏机，弟弟表现出极大的兴趣。Upon seeing my video game console, my younger brother showed a great deal of interest. Another example, 等一会儿看见律师，你即使很紧张，也不要表现出来。When you meet the lawyer in the moment, even if you feel nervous, don't show it. Or even for your interview 大家很快要毕业了，找工作了，有面试interview， 你即使很紧张，也不要表现出来to show it out. Okay, next, it can be a noun. For example, 这个学生最近的表现不好。So this student, his recent performance is not good. Perhaps he come to the class late, or his quiz is not good, or he keeps sleeping during the class, or he keeps talking with his classmates and ignored teachers. They all included in the 表现。Next, 这个问题怎么处理，就看你今后的表现。So how to deal with this problem? It depends on your future performance. Next, 他见到你有什么表现？How did he seem when he saw you? 生气还是高兴？ Was he angry or happy? So here, 表现 is an important word. It can be a verb, it can be a noun. Next, 林雪梅问说，舅舅，昨天晚上是什么比赛呀？ What competition it was for the last night? 是男子足球队 as a men's soccer game. 男子versus 女子 it means man, male, and woman, female. But usually 男子 and 女子 usually used in sports games. Sports games. 北京队北京 team 对上海队 versus 对 means versus 上海 team. Okay, that's all for the dialogue 1.